Hey guys, August is almost over and I wanted to share with you a few last minute things about creativity. We've been using a lot of examples from the art world. Fabric artists, musicians, glass artists. I want to share with you something that doesn't have to do with art. This is one of my tools. It's not plugged in right now, but it cuts through wood. And specifically, I bought this kind because it cuts through nails that are inside of wood. You combine that with a hammer and some nails, and I managed to cut apart a big pallet. A pallet usually looks like this. It's got all of these wood on the top, and it's got the big supporting wood. So here we have the big wood in the middle and the supporting wood from the top. These are all pieces from an old pallet. And I made some shelves out of it. Now, I'm really excited about these shelves because I'm going to be using them in my garage. They didn't have to be perfect, which is good because I'm not really, can't balance that there. I'm not really great with woodworking. There are some amazing artists out there who do a lot with wood. I like using reclaimed materials that would have normally been thrown out. They were left here from the people who owned this house before me, and I just kind of held on to them. I didn't know what to do until I needed some shelves. I let my son paint some of the shelves for me. It was a lot of good, messy fun. And he didn't do it perfect, but I'm going to leave it like that because it reminds me that he once was little and he was able to help. Now, the art on the back wall there, I tried to do some abstract painting a couple years ago. Painting abstractly is really hard to do. I thought it'd be super easy. I talked about it with my husband. Apparently he said, no, do not do it. And I thought he said, sure, if you want to. It's on the side of the house that no one will see. No big deal. Obviously, we don't remember the story the same way. So if you are going to try and be creative with things that need power tools, please make sure you have help from a responsible adult person. Maybe that's mom or dad, maybe it's a older brother or sister. But seriously, those things are dangerous. So make sure you are safe, you're wearing good shoes and eye coverings, because you don't want to have an accident when you're dealing with power tools. And if you are doing something big, make sure you actually do have permission. If you want to paint a mural, for example, or cut up an old fence in some pallets. He's actually thrilled that I was able to make the shelves because that means that's one less thing he has to buy. And eventually we're gonna paint our house. It's got a pretty bad paint job all around it, and we're gonna paint over my mural. Not all art stays around forever. Some things get broken, some things get painted over, and eventually my shelf and my son's painting will probably break and be thrown out. But for now, it's another way to be creative, using what you have. You don't need to go and buy a lot of fancy anything to get started creating. If you like building, You might be easier to start with buying a birdhouse kit or something that has instructions to go with it and where to nail and where to hammer. Furniture from IKEA, where you can build something and you have enough of the right kinds of pieces where it will turn out into something functional. But even in functional art, you can get creative and artistic and aesthetic. That's a fancy word to say pretty. Have fun with your creativity. As September gets closer, we are not leaving creativity behind, that is for sure. But we are going to move on to another theme. So there you go. Use what you have. Creative doesn't mean you have to make art. It just means thinking outside of the box and coming up with a solution that is uniquely you and does not have limits. Because our God is limitless. He has no limits. He created everything. You know that by now. We've been talking about it all month. But we have some of that limitless creativity inside of us. And sometimes it takes teamwork to harness that power. Working with another person to help give you ideas or to help with the tools. Teamwork's a good thing, especially if both people in the team want the same goal and are willing to work for it. Those are my thoughts for tonight. Have a great night, and I will see you over the weekend. Have a good one. Bye.